Have you ever wanted to be the woman he can't stop thinking about? The one who doesn't just catch his attention for a moment, but makes his heart race, his body react, and yes, even makes his legs shake. I'm not talking about looks, because attraction has never been about just looks. It's about energy. It's about how you carry yourself, the way you make him feel without even trying. Think about it. How many times have you seen a woman walk into a room and she isn't the most glamorous, she isn't the loudest, but somehow every man notices her? What's happening there? She knows something most women don't: how to knock a man off balance in the best way possible. Now, here's the truth. Men are not as complicated as they act. But what does throw them completely off guard is when a woman flips the script. Most men are used to being the ones who chase, the ones who try to impress. But when you learn how to play with anticipation, how to use your presence, your voice, your touch in ways that make him wonder what's coming next, you take control. And that's when you see it. The moment his guard drops, the moment his legs literally feel weak around you. And I know what some of you might be thinking right now, but Matthew, isn't this manipulative? Isn't this playing games? No, this isn't about playing games. It's about amplifying the power you already have as a woman. Because the truth is, you already know how to flirt. You already know how to connect. It's just that sometimes you've been told to tone it down, to hold back, to not be too much. But today, I'm here to tell you too much is exactly what he needs from you. So if you've ever wanted to feel that rush of watching a man fall under your spell, if you've ever wanted to walk away knowing you left him trembling just from the way you carried yourself, then you need to stay with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to break down step by step how to use this technique to make his legs shake. And once you know it, you'll never see him the same way again. Let's start with anticipation, because ladies, this is the foundation of making his legs shake. Think about the last time you were watching a movie and the scene built up so much tension. You're gripping your seat, waiting for that kiss, that reveal, that explosion. And when it finally happened, it wasn't just good, it was unforgettable. That's what anticipation does. It amplifies the moment before the moment. And in romance, in chemistry, in intimacy, anticipation is the secret sauce. Here's the truth: men are wired for the chase. They like pursuit. But here's where most women get it wrong. Pursuit doesn't mean playing hard to get in some fake, frustrating way. No, pursuit means creating a rhythm of give and take. When you learn how to spark desire and then hold it just out of reach for a second longer than expected, you've just created anticipation. And in that space, that's where he goes weak. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're on a date. He leans in expecting you to rush to fill the silence. Instead, you take a slow sip of your drink. You look him in the eyes for just a beat too long, and you smile without explaining why. That tiny pause, that little delay, it drives him wild, because he's not sure what's coming next. And that's the beauty. Men love certainty in business, in life, in planning. But with you, uncertainty makes his heart race. The key to anticipation is pace. If you give everything all at once, your words, your touch, your attention, he gets satisfied and the excitement fades too quickly. But when you drip, feed the experience. When you let things unfold layer by layer, you keep his adrenaline pumping. You make his imagination work over time. And let me tell you, a man's imagination is often more powerful than reality. Here's the mistake many women make. They confuse anticipation with withholding. Withholding is cold. It's shutting down. Anticipation is warm, playful, inviting. But it's also mysterious. It's the difference between ignoring his text to teach him a lesson versus sending him a short, teasing reply that makes him want to see you even more. One makes him frustrated. The other makes him obsessed. Think about body language. When you walk past him, don't immediately touch him like he expects. Instead, let your arm brush his just barely. When you're telling him a story, lean in close, then pull back with a laugh. It's that rhythm, close, then pull away, that sends shockwaves through his body. You're feeding his desire without letting him gorge on it. Another layer of anticipation, your words. A compliment given too quickly loses power. But a compliment slipped in when he least expects it, that stays with him all night. For example, instead of saying you look good the moment you meet, wait until later, mid-conversation. When he's relaxed, then say, you know, I have to admit, you look really good tonight. That delay makes the compliment land 10 times harder. Ladies, here's the secret formula: tease, pause, reward. That's anticipation. Tease him with your presence, your glance, your laugh. Pause before giving him what he's expecting, then reward him in a way that feels earned. And the best part, this isn't about games, it's about play. Play is what creates chemistry. Play is what makes him remember you the next day, the next week, the next year. So if you want his legs to shake, if you want him to feel like he's been knocked off balance, start with anticipation. Because when you master this art, you won't just make him tremble in the moment, you'll make him crave the next one too. Now, let's talk about something most women completely underestimate: eye contact. Ladies, your eyes are not just windows to your soul, they're the most powerful seduction tool you have. The way you look at a man can either make him feel like just another guy or make him feel like the only man in the world. And when you know how to use your eyes with intention, you don't just capture his attention, you take his breath away. Think about it. How often do you glance around a room without really seeing anyone? That's what most people do. But when you lock eyes with someone, even for just a second longer than normal, you send an electric current straight through his body. His heart skips, his stomach flips, and suddenly his legs feel a little less steady. That's the kind of power we're talking about here. Here's why eye contact is so magnetic. It creates intimacy without a single word. When you look at a man and hold that gaze, even briefly, you're telling him, I see you. And in a world where men are used to being overlooked, ignored, or treated like they're replaceable, that moment of being truly seen hits him deep. Now, let's get practical. The mistake a lot of women make is looking away too quickly. You know the drill, you catch his eye, and instantly your head drops or you look at your phone. That breaks the spell. Instead, practice holding his gaze just 2 seconds longer than feels natural. That tiny shift alone changes everything. It tells him, I'm confident, I'm present, and I'm not afraid of you. And trust me, nothing is sexier than a woman who owns her presence. Another secret: combine eye contact with a smile, but not a big, friendly, everyone gets this smile. I'm talking about the slow, subtle, slightly mischievous smile, the kind of smile that says, I know something you don't. That combination, lingering eyes with a teasing smile, is pure kryptonite for a man. His brain goes into overdrive trying to figure out what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and why he suddenly can't breathe properly. But here's the beautiful part: eye contact isn't just about seduction. It's also about control. When you know how to use your gaze, you're the one steering the interaction. Let's say he's talking and you maintain steady eye contact while leaning in just slightly. He feels connected, engaged. Now imagine you suddenly look away for a moment. He feels the loss instantly. He wants that connection back. And that push-pull dynamic is exactly what keeps him hooked. Eye contact also works in unexpected places. Imagine walking across the room. Don't just walk past him. Glance at him as you pass. Let your eyes linger for a heartbeat. Then look forward again. That moment stays with him long after you're gone. Or during a group conversation when everyone's laughing, let your eyes find his for a split second longer than the others. That's how you silently tell him this moment is ours. Here's the thing: eye contact is fearless. It requires you to be comfortable in your own skin. That's why so many women struggle with it. They feel exposed, vulnerable. But vulnerability, when mixed with confidence, is what makes you irresistible. Men don't just want beauty, want presence. And presence is communicated most powerfully through the eyes. So ladies, if you want to captivate a man without saying a single word, master this 2 seconds longer, paired with a subtle smile and delivered with complete confidence. That's the look that makes his stomach flip. That's the look that makes his knees weak. And that's the look he'll never forget. All right, ladies, now let's move to one of the most underestimated weapons in your entire arsenal: your voice. Most people think attraction is all about looks, but the truth, your voice can seduce faster than a short dress, faster than a perfect smile, faster even than a kiss. Why? Because your voice is a direct line to his nervous system. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it that makes his body react. Think about your favorite song. When it comes on, your whole body shifts. You relax, you smile, you sway. That's the power of rhythm, tone, and delivery. And your voice works the same way. When you speak to a man with intention, you're not just delivering words, you're delivering an experience. And that experience is what makes him lean closer, hang on every word, and yes, feel his knees start to weaken. Here's where most women go wrong: they rush. They speak quickly, they fill every silence, they don't let the moment breathe. But seduction lives in the pause. The pause is where his imagination kicks in. The pause is where his body fills the silence with desire. So if you want to master seduction with your voice, slow it down. Let your words drip like honey instead of firing like bullets. Try this exercise the next time you're telling a story to a man. Cut your speed in half. Drop your tone just slightly. Not fake, not forced, but enough to add a little depth. Then sprinkle in pauses. Watch what happens. He won't just listen, he'll feel you. His body will literally shift toward you like he's magnetized. That's the power of vocal control. And it's not only about slowness, it's about variety. If your voice is one flat tone, he'll tune out. But if you play with it, lean in close and whisper the end of a sentence, then pull back and laugh, it creates a roller coaster effect. His emotions rise and fall with your rhythm. That unpredictability, that's intoxicating. Now let's talk about flirting with words. The content doesn't even have to be sexual. You could be describing how good your morning coffee was. If you say it slowly, with a playful smile and a little emphasis on the word good, suddenly that coffee sounds like the best thing he's ever imagined. It's not about the coffee, it's about how you make him feel when you say it. Another trick, lowering your volume slightly. When you soften your voice, he instinctively leans in. That leaning in is both physical and psychological. He feels pulled toward you. You've now flipped the dynamic. Instead of you moving toward him, he's moving toward you. That's power. Here's the secret: your voice should feel like an invitation, not a performance, not an act, but an open door. You're giving him a taste of your energy and making him crave more. Because remember, attraction isn't about overloading, it's about teasing, hinting, inviting. So ladies, think of your voice as music. Play with tone, play with tempo, play with silence. Don't rush. Don't fill every gap. Let him sit in the delicious discomfort of wanting more. That's what will leave him replaying your words in his head long after you're gone. And the best part, you don't need to change who you are. You just need to become more intentional. Use your voice not just to speak, but to seduce. Because when you master this, you don't just communicate, you captivate. And when he feels that deep, visceral pull from your voice alone, that's when his legs start to shake. Now, ladies, if you really want to make his legs shake, we need to talk about the power of touch. Touch is primal. It bypasses logic, it bypasses words, and it goes straight into the nervous system. A single, well-placed touch can say more than an entire speech. The secret is this: it's not about how much you touch, it's about how you touch. And more importantly, how long it lingers. Here's the mistake most people make. They either don't touch at all or they overdo it. Both extremes kill the spark. The real magic lies in subtlety. The kind of touch that feels accidental but isn't. The kind that's light, playful, and just long enough to send a shiver down his spine. Imagine this. You're laughing at something he said. In the middle of your laugh, your hand brushes his arm, just a light graze, and then it's gone. He's left wondering, did she mean to do that? That moment of uncertainty is what drives him crazy, because he can't stop replaying it. Or picture this: you're handing him something, your phone, your glass, anything, and you let your fingers rest against his for a second longer than necessary. Not 5 seconds, not a whole handhold, just one beat longer. That one beat communicates intimacy. It communicates, I'm aware of you. And in that one moment, you've just lit a fire under his skin. Touch is most powerful when it's unexpected. If you're on a date, don't reach for his hand right away. That's predictable. Instead, touch the back of his shoulder when you lean past him. Place your hand lightly on his knee when you're making a point, and then pull away. These fleeting moments are the ones that leave the biggest impact. And here's a golden rule: combine touch with laughter. When you're genuinely laughing and you reach out, even if it's just to tap his arm, that touch feels natural, unforced. It's playful. And play is irresistible. Men don't want every moment to feel heavy and serious, they want fun. And touch, when paired with fun, is addictive. But let's not forget the psychology. A lingering touch creates a loop in his brain. He feels something physical, but because it ended quickly, his mind keeps chasing the sensation. It's like hearing only the first note of a song. You need the rest. That chase, that craving, is what makes his body weak. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Touch doesn't just affect him, it affects you too. When you allow yourself to touch with intention, your confidence grows, you feel more playful, more in control. And he feels that because confidence through touch is different from confidence through words. It's silent, but it's undeniable. One of the sexiest touches, guiding touch. When you're walking together, lightly place your hand on his back as you move past him. It's small, but it signals direction, leadership, intimacy, all in one move. Men aren't used to being guided by women in that way, and when it happens, it flips their entire script. Remember, the key is restraint. Anyone can touch constantly, it means nothing. But when you know how to touch sparingly, intentionally, and let it linger just enough, every single moment of contact becomes memorable. He won't be able to stop thinking about the way your hand felt on his arm, the warmth of your fingers, the softness of that tiny graze. So ladies, if you want to knock him off balance, don't underestimate the touch that lingers. It's the whisper against his skin, the spark of connection, the moment he feels you and then loses you. That's what makes him crave more. And that craving, that's what makes his legs shake. Ladies, let me tell you the truth. You can master anticipation, you can perfect eye contact, you can play with your voice and touch like a pro, but none of it will have the same impact if it isn't backed by confidence. Confidence is the knockout move. It's the secret ingredient that turns technique into power. Without it, you're performing. With it, you're unforgettable. Here's the thing, men can sense confidence instantly. It's in the way you walk into a room. Do you shrink, trying not to be noticed, or do you own your space like you belong there? Do you fidget with your clothes and hair, apologizing for existing? Or do you stand tall, shoulders back, eyes forward, letting the world know you're not hiding? That energy doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how he feels around you. Confidence is magnetic because it communicates one powerful message. I don't need you, but I choose you. And that, ladies, is what makes a man weak in the knees, because beauty can attract him, but confidence makes him stay. Let's get clear about what confidence really is. It's not arrogance. It's not pretending you're better than everyone else. Real confidence is quiet, calm, and unshakable. It's knowing your worth and not negotiating it for anyone. And when a woman moves through the world with that energy, men can't help but respect and desire her. Picture this. A woman walks into a date. She doesn't rush to fill silence. She's comfortable taking her time. She doesn't overshare to prove she's interesting. She knows her value, and she lets him discover it. She sets boundaries with grace. She laughs freely, not worrying about looking silly. That's confidence. And that's what makes him lean in, desperate for more. Confidence also transforms rejection. A woman without confidence takes rejection as proof she's not good enough. A woman with confidence, she sees it as redirection, his loss, not hers. And that shift in mindset is sexy because men can feel when you're not desperate. Desperation repels. Confidence seduces. Now let's talk about the body. Your body language is the first way you communicate confidence. Walk slower. Take up space. Don't rush your movements like you're apologizing for existing. When you're with him, maintain open posture. No crossed arms, no hunched shoulders. Look at him directly, but never like you're begging for approval. These micro signals tell him I am comfortable in my skin. And that is irresistible. Another layer, confidence in standards. When you know what you want and you're not afraid to voice it, men see you differently. If he crosses a line and you calmly say, that's not how I roll, you don't push him away, you pull him deeper in. Because now he knows you're not just another option. You're the woman who won't tolerate less than what she deserves. And that makes him rise to meet you. And here's the beautiful part, confidence is the amplifier. Every other move we've talked about, anticipation, eye contact, voice, touch, they all multiply when they're delivered through confidence. The teasing pause becomes irresistible. The lingering gaze becomes hypnotic. The soft touch becomes unforgettable because confidence gives permission. It tells him this is me and I'm enough. So if you want to deliver the knockout, stop asking, am I good enough? Start declaring, I am enough. Step into every room like you're the prize, because the truth is you are. And when you embody that, when you radiate that quiet power, he won't just notice, he won't just desire, he'll crumble. And that's when his legs will truly shake. Ladies, let's bring it all together. If you want to be the woman who makes his legs shake, remember, it's not about being the prettiest in the room. It's not about competing with anyone else. It's about mastering the art of presence. You now have the 5 keys: anticipation that keeps him guessing, eye contact that melts his guard, a voice that seduces without trying, a touch that lingers in his memory, and confidence, the knockout move that makes you unforgettable. These aren't tricks, they're not games. They're simply ways of unlocking the power you already have inside you. Because the truth is, men aren't overwhelmed by beauty alone, they're overwhelmed by energy. By a woman who knows her worth, who knows how to play, who knows how to connect without giving everything away. So the next time you're with him, don't think, what do I need to do to impress him? Instead, ask, how can I enjoy this moment, own my power, and let him feel the privilege of being in my presence? When you shift that mindset, everything changes. Now, if this resonated with you, don't just sit on it. Try it, experiment, play, and then come back and tell me in the comments what happened when you used these techniques. And of course, if you found this valuable, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and share this with your girlfriends, because every woman deserves to know how powerful she truly is.